So a lot of you guys will be wondering what I'm doing right now on this. I think you can hear me, yeah, I've got sound. So I've sold all the Dragon Ball Z tapes, not the DVDs, just videotapes that I haven't watched in about 5 years. The past couple of weeks I haven't really been doing videos because I've been dealing with other stuff. But yeah, feels good to kind of lighten the load, you know, like just get rid of stuff. And some guy is going to pay me, I think, $150 for all of these tapes. There's about 50 of them, so it's about $3 a tape. But, you know, to clear the space, that's okay. Now people are going to say, oh, you should have sold those online. You could have got $10 a tape. I don't care. Honestly, I really don't care. And I know that's going to annoy some of you. But I really don't care. You just need to clear them, you know? When you need to clear space, you just need to clear space. And I think we get so caught up in like the whole, you could have got more, you could have, if you had spent 10 months straight just selling them on eBay, you could have got more. What if I didn't want to wait 10 months straight to try to sell these, you know? And I know that, yeah. But there's a part of me that's just like, every disc I put into a sleeve, every disc that I fold down, you know, putting into a sleeve, it's kind of like I'm getting lighter in a way, because it's getting closer and closer to the reality of moving some of these bookcases and downsizing. And yes, while I don't necessarily think I'm going to fold down the 4Ks, I still have not touched the 4Ks. They are not getting, if I'm going to do that, that's a last minute on the fly decision if I'm going to do the 4Ks. But, you know, just stuff that I'm not using. Like, everyone knows I sold the laser discs a couple of months ago for like 850, I think it was. And, I mean, I know some of the people on here were like, how could you have sold them for 850? Like $850 is anything to snark at, you know? It's money. But also, this is the thing, like when you have a storage issue, when you have an issue that needs solving in terms of how much storage you have versus how much your collection is, you start asking the question of, why do I keep the Dragon Ball Z tapes if I haven't watched them in literally 5 years or something? And then again, I had the DVDs, the exact same things, these single things. These are, I have these in DVD form. So why am I keeping them? It's just so I can compete with other YouTubers, you know? It's just so I can have that competition. And $150 is fair for these, you know? They're videotapes. And yes, I could get 10 if I try to sell them on eBay and spend the next 2 years trying to offload them. Or I could just get the 150 up front and say, hey, now they're out of my collection. Now I have more space to rearrange. But this is the thing I'm trying to make here, you know? I'm just going to make sure this is still recording because I want to make sure that, like, I'm not just speaking into the void. Obviously not, it's recording. But look at this. I just got an IKEA bag, I'm just putting them in. It's literally a full IKEA bag full of tapes. And yeah, it's a bit flimsy, so I'm just going to put that down on the floor. But, you know what I'm saying? Like, the rearrangement is coming along very well. I've been putting some of the digibooks into these boxes as well, like these type of boxes, but I don't know whether to keep them in there. I might take them back out. These are just 3-disc WWE, but there are digibooks and stuff in some of these. I may put them back out on the shelf when these are all cleared. Like I might just have a section behind the door, 2 sections, and then try to figure it out. But yeah, and if I look off a little bit, it's because I've literally woke up half hour ago, so like, don't judge me. But like, the more and more that I downsize and the more and more that I actually start, like, let's just get the action section here, or part of the action section, the more I put Blu-rays into these. Look at this. Neat. Tidy. Taking up 1/6 of the space of wood on the shelf. This would almost take up, like, it's probably 100 in here. This would fill up maybe that whole section over there, like 3 bookcases, or 2.5 bookcases, I should say. These little ones in the middle are only half of ones of the big ones. This would fill probably like 2 of the big size and then 1 of these. It's fit into a box. I can fit 4 of these per shelf. And some might say, but you're losing that plastic cover. And what if you ever regret this later on? Well, that's why you keep the artwork. That's why I'm taking very special care to go out and spend more than most people would to have the paper sleeves for the discs. Now, I've never had a scratch from those. I've mentioned that in the past. But in saying that, you start having boxfuls of covers, and I have to figure out how I'm getting rid of those. They're still going. I'm slowly throwing some away in the recycling bin, but I'm producing more of them that I can get rid of at a time, so that's a bit of an issue. But it is definitely coming along. It is bits going out a bit at a time, just making sure that it's churning along, you know? But look at this. This is something that I think is starting to rekindle my relationship with physical media. Having that so accessible compared to, you know, taking up X amount of space. I don't know, it kind of feels humbling in a way. I don't know, it's like the old librarian system, you know? It's like you start really seeing the results of it. And I've been downsizing just about everything. I think, what else have I sold recently? I sold my Dragon Ball Z, some of my Dragon Ball Z mangas. I sold, what else have I sold? I've sold something else. I don't know what else I sold. I forget. There was something else though. I know there was something else I sold. Yeah, you know, just downsizing, getting rid of stuff. Not even just getting rid of stuff, just reframing it in a way that suits my needs. Now, given I know it's not going to be popular, I know people are going to say, but the plastic cover, this little piece of plastic is what you need to restore, you know, that little piece of plastic. But honestly, as long as I look after these, the paper sleeve, as long as that's looked after and put into the case, into the sleeve, and the disc is in a proper thing to protect the disc from moving around in the case, like I put them in paper for a reason. As I said, I've never had a scratch from that. I've done that years ago, never had a scratch from one, and I'm very careful about that sort of stuff. I want to make sure that if I have the urge to later on, when I have more space, put these back in plastic cases. Now, given I would have to go out and buy the cases again, but do you know what I mean? Like, I could get probably 100 of these for $50 or something. It's not that expensive, really. But if I had that urge later down the track, I can put them back into the cases. I just pull them back out of the boxes, say, okay, let's put those back into cases. Not that I think I'm going to do it, because I'm realizing some issues that plastic cases have by doing what everyone else does. I think having the plastic cases on the shelf looks great. And while, you know, I might reframe this so that it looks better in a YouTube video, put the 4Ks in one full bookcase, I don't know. But one thing that you start to notice is just how many bugs get into these things. Like, it's not even like, I'm very on top of bugs in my collection. I'm very on top of like what's in the collection, like what's buzzing around the collection. I'm very much of like making sure this is almost as sterile as possible, like making sure there's no kind of like infection, or like, what's the term for it? I don't know. Any terms of contain, I don't know. I don't know the word for it, but making sure that this is not being infected by like bugs and like bugs getting into everything. I'm very careful of that. But even then, you still notice like one or two here and there, like not much, but like just enough to say like, hey, even the most hardcore collector will not be on top of this sort of stuff. I can see that phone tilting, by the way, because my tripod's broken. Because, yeah, for some reason, Bunnings Warehouse don't sell this type of tripod anymore. So we're just going to tilt that back around. There we go. But, you know, there is certain parts of being humble. It's like, I don't know, I just feel like having this much is not healthy. And if I'm going to have this much, like, it's not, let me reframe that. Having this much is more of a burden if I'm going to have it all displayed at all times when I'm only watching maybe one a week. You know what I'm saying? Like, why do I need to have everything displayed at all times? Now, I went out to the Salvos the other day because I just wanted to go and have a look, try and take my own mind off other stuff because, yeah, I don't grieve well, but I had a family member who passed away recently and died so young. Like, he was one of my cousins that I really kept up with. Like, he was one that I was very close to. So that's why I haven't been online for like the past 2 weeks. But I don't grieve well. Like, I don't, like, I couldn't even cry. Like, it's a bit of a weird thing. It's like you become desensitized to it a bit in like in the career path I'm on. Like, Not that I'm desensitized to what's happening in the world, so don't jump in the comments and start doing things or I'm going to start blocking people. But yes, I am seeing a lot of stuff. I have seen a lot of stuff that comes out of the world. I've seen a lot of very hard images that a lot of the world hasn't seen. But you also tend to, like, when it hits close to home, you kind of go into work mode in a way, and it's a weird one. But you do feel the loss, you do feel it, but it's still something of like, I'm always the type of like, okay, distraction, or hey, Blu-ray, let's get that dopamine rush to try to override what you're actually feeling, you know? And when you start just tearing down things, like these little things I've just got behind it, these are all from the other bookcases over there, or like behind the door. But when you start to actually like notice, and you start to actually take notice of this sort of stuff, of like, I'm grieving and I don't know I'm grieving. Yeah, I went to the Salvers and bought, I don't know how many DVDs. I bought like probably 80 to 100 DVDs, I would say, on the other day. And I just was like, yes, I know this is a lot more, like it's a couple of bags full. But also, because I'm doing the sleeve route now, I justified it and I was like, you know what? These are movies I want. Now I have the space, and also I need to make sure that I'm not going to just buy and fill up more space. So, you know, I'm doing it in a way that's very calculated. You know, I'm very much about like, this is the dopamine rush you need, but in saying that, you're not just going to go and fill up all these with boxfuls, you know? So I'm being very careful of that, because I want to eventually tear down like half of this room, and everything will be merged over here. Like the bottom section will be boxes, the top section will be whatever. But, you know, there is a certain way that I want to do this. Like, I want to have the table, or some sort of table back here. You know, the people who watch this channel from the beginning will know what I'm talking about. But I used to have a table that I used to sit at and, like, you know, just to do presentation and just to talk. And then somewhere along the line, I decided standing up was better. And I don't know, it's a weird one. But yeah, as I said, like, getting a few DVDs, buying in the while I'm downsizing to get that dopamine rush, it felt good. I will say it, like, it's very good. It feels very good to have Blu-rays and DVDs and buying while you're downsizing, and having that extra thing that you know you couldn't have because you had no space. Now you have the space. I'm trying to arrange these in boxes that I'll have categorized. So romance is its own books. Australian, what's this one? Australian, Disney, live action, Kevin Smith, action. So action spans over a couple of boxes, I think. I think there's a lot of action. I think there's probably going to be a lot of drama and thriller, because I merged them into one section. There's going to be a lot of drama and thriller in one box, so that's probably going to be like 2 boxfuls, or maybe even 3 boxfuls. But, you know, one of the things about this is it makes you more humble. Like, you start to realize that, I don't know, you just kind of are competing. And yes, I did get inspired by a lot of YouTube channels when I started this channel. You know, I'm a young YouTuber to this. Now, given I did have a YouTube channel back in 08, 09, when I was a teenager and I was a troll on the internet and all that stuff. I know people figure that out. I had a YouTube channel. Back then I was one of the early YouTubers. Well, I wasn't posting videos of myself. I was posting like Triple H invades TNA. And yeah, some of the old funny animations. I actually got into a war with one person as well. Like, I don't know, some funny thing. I don't know. But it was really bad. I don't really like to relive that era. You know, it's different. It's like you look back at the stupid kid you were back then, it's like, oh, that. But, you know, there's a lot of stuff that I look at. But I'm relatively new to this sort of stuff, like what Jeff was doing and what, you know, Serial at Midnight and all these other guys do, you know? I'm new to it. And in terms of, like, live blogging, talking to a camera, like, that's something I've had to get used to. Now, I am more confident now than I was, like, a year and a half ago when I started this channel. But, you know, I am getting more confident. And there are parts of me that feels like, you know, some parts of me is just handcuffed because, as I said, most people know what I do for a living, or think they know what I do for a living. But yeah, I don't really like to talk about my day job, as they call it, just because I like to keep two things separate. I don't like to know, I mean, I don't mind if people know what I do. It's just a matter of, I don't want to make it seem like, oh, I have any say in this, or I have any kind of like leverage, or like, you know, I don't know how to influence you know, if that makes sense. Like, I don't actually do that. So if you say to me, go and tell blah, 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 I don't do that. You know, I just do my job, you know. It's a simple thing. Like, everyone's getting paid, you know. You just do what you're there to do. And yes, sometimes you see very graphic images. Part of that, you see, it's part of the job. You get used to it. Like, not get used to it. You never get used to seeing what you see, but you know, you do feel like this is my job to relay this information to the public, and you're trying to get it out there. That being said, you do see some very graphic stuff. Now, going back to grieving, now, this is another thing that I want to make this video about. Now, yes, my cousin, he did pass away very young. He was only like 2 years older than me as well. Like, it's kind of off-putting. The circumstances that led to it, yeah, it's a bit of a weird one. I don't really know how to feel about it, but, you know, at the end of the day, it's my cousin, you know, he's not here anymore, and yeah. That being said, like, as I said, I don't grieve very well. Like, it's not like I'm here just, like, bawling my eyes out and whatever. I don't do that. Like, I don't know if it's an old bloke sort of thing, like, don't cry, don't show emotion. Like, I don't know if it's that old mentality, but I don't know, I've just never been that type of person. Like, I grieve in different ways. Like, you know, I grieve, and then I go out and buy X amount of DVDs. You know, it's just part of who I am. But, you know, downsizing has really helped me. Like, downsizing and also selling stuff, it's been very, very therapeutic during these last couple of weeks. Just like tearing down covers, putting them in the bags to eventually get rid of. I don't know where they're going, but I have been throwing some in the recycling bin because nobody's taking them. I've tried everywhere in Sydney. Nobody wants to take them all. And for those who reach out to me through Instagram, I have been getting some of your requests saying, hey, can I just get one bag of these? I don't want to do that. It's like, if I'm going to get rid of these, they all need to go at one time. You know, I need them all gone. It's all or nothing. They just need to be gone. But then, that being said, it's like, I don't want to burden someone else, but if someone wants to go through all the covers, then they can take all the covers, you know? They can go through and pick the 100 best that they want, and then chuck the rest for me. I don't care. But, you know, I've just tried recycling centers. I've tried recyclers who repurpose things. I've tried reverse garbage. I've tried all these things. But, I don't know, none of them want them. So I'm just, at this point, like, getting rid of stuff, and what's going on with my eyes right now? My eyes are really thin because I'm right under a light. It's like blaring from that angle, and probably one from that angle as well. I'm just talking, and, you know, this is very therapeutic as well. I should have been doing this for the last 2 weeks, but as I said, when you lose a relative, you don't really feel like talking all that much. And yes, there are parts of me that was like, oh, that's my defense mechanism. Well, some people cry a lot. Some people will not know how to feel. Yes, I was lost for a bit, but also I don't cry all that much. It's like my grieving mechanism is to just get on with it in a way, if that makes sense. You know, just get on with downsizing, get on with selling stuff, get on with whatever I'm going to be doing, you know. Yes, this is a bit of a mess at the moment, I will admit. Like, there's stuff all over the place. There's Dreamcast games. Now, I am not downsizing the gaming collection at the moment. I may put the PS3 down, like, sleeved. I might sleeve some of the PS3s. That's a decision to be made at a later point in time. But I kind of want to keep the game collection in their covers, because I kind of like the way that looks. Like, I like the 4Ks as well, don't get me wrong. But having the game collection in its covers just adds an X factor to it, I think. But that's a decision that I'll need to make at a later point in time. It might be the case if I downsize some of them, keep some out, but I just like to have the games all together, if that makes sense. I don't know. I'm just kind of making it up as I go along now, guys. Like, I know you guys are here for, like, some revelation of, like, Jamie's going to rant for 20 minutes or something. But, you know, just slowly but surely getting to where I need to be with this collection, like, getting it back in line of where I need it to be, so that it is a reflection of me, you know? That's what it has to be. It needs to be a reflection of me. I've got some stuff here, like 13 Reasons Why, like, good series, Season 1. I never went beyond Season 1 because then it just got silly. Season 1 was, like, art. That being said, this is the one that has that very graphic depiction on here, you know? So the DVD is the unaltered versions before Netflix said, okay, we admit that we probably shouldn't have shown that scene unaltered, you know, it's giving kids ideas. But you know what I'm saying? Like, this is kind of an interesting one. I've got some of these that I could just easily put into a box as well, like just little IMAX things. I don't even know why. Oh, did I ever show you my PS1 poster? I just noticed that I still have it. I don't know, I got this out of like the demo disc back in the day. I don't know when I got this, but it's a really cool poster. So on the back you have that, just like randos. And then on the front you have that really cool artwork. I might even, like, when I get rid of one of these bookcases, I might put a poster here, you know? It might be something where I put a poster. But it's interesting, you know? This is the type of stuff that, like, brings me joy when I'm just, like, down a bit, you know? Not even really down, like, I wouldn't say I'm going through a depression, but I'm just, like, I'm just down a bit at the moment. Like, you know, obviously you lose a relative. It manifests over many months. It's not like, yes, we've had the funeral, all that stuff, but it manifests, you know? It comes over months. It comes in waves. And yes, this is my escape at the moment until I'm back at work, because I've taken a couple of weeks off work as well. Until I'm back at work, then I'll be back in that routine and getting back into my usual shtick, if you will. But, you know, just little things. Like, I'm also down to buy another wrestling belt. So I've got these little toy ones. I've got the big one that's in the other room with the Goldberg plate on it, the actual WWE shop one. I've also got Big Eagle. I'm getting another Winged Eagle that I'm hopefully getting in, and like this Saturday I'm probably going to pay like $220 for it. It's a WCW figs, so it's like, it's a kid size one. Now, given it's kid size, it's not like the full size WCW proper big authentic one, but it is a figs kid size that I don't see too often. So I just love this design of Big Gold, and I mean, it's got like a leather strap compared to this thing, so it's like, I don't know, I just wanted it. And yes, that's something that I'll have to analyze as well. Like, am I buying too many belts? Is this my new obsession? And that's what I could do with the Center bookcase. I could put the belts on there. I could make room and put the belts in there, maybe. Who knows? But I'm buying another not another Winged Eagle. I'm buying another Big Gold. I do want a Winged Eagle, though. I'm trying to get a Winged Eagle, but I want ORM because I want that WWF logo on it. I don't want the WWE block logo. I want the WWF actual logos, that it's very close to the authentic thing that was on, like, TV authentic. I want that, you know, so I want to get ORM, which is the same belt maker who made the Big Eagle that I had, and I've showed many times. It's in the thumbnail. Well, not the thumbnail of this video, but like my profile pictures. So yeah, I am going to get back to Instagram at some point. Like, that's still a path that I'm on. I'm still very much wanting to do Instagram. I'm still very much wanting to do daily posts. I am getting back to that at some point. As I said, I just don't really feel like making too much content at the moment. But it will be something I go back to. Don't get me wrong. I will be back on Instagram at some point. I have been posting stuff to my stories here and there, but yeah, just as I said, sometimes you just need to not post on the internet for a while. Sometimes you just need to take a break, and, you know, this has been my temporary break, you know, just get away from it, just sit with my thoughts and just downsize. Like, you know, there's something about just sitting on the floor, taking things out, not for videos, not for views, not for freaking monetization, just, oh, let's take it out of the cover, put it in that cover, boom, 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 you know? There's something humbling about that. And it's kind of a good one. It's kind of fun to do, and it's also like I am regaining control of my collection by doing that. That being said, there are going to be the people on the internet who say, oh, how could you do that to your collection? Like, how could you do that? Your precious collection. Honestly, I'm more in control of this collection than I've ever been. Now, given, yes, it's all organized, I know people are going to say, but it's all organized, it's all very categorized. But in terms of actually opening them, like, as I said, there's stuff in here that hasn't even been taken out of the wrapping, you know? Toomey pushes the show. That's actually a pretty good... Oh, no, it's open. It's open. But you know what I'm saying? There's some that in this collection that isn't even open. Where did this come from? RST. There we go. Boom. But, you know, there's stuff in here that isn't even open. Like, I don't even think... Young Guns? I don't think Young Guns is open. But when you're opening them, taking the plastic off and removing that wrapping, it's kind of like, okay, now it's not a new item. Now it's, if you was to resell it, now it's a used, although very much brand new, now it's a used item. And now it's actually yours. Because there's a part of me that, you know, I've talked about Bad Boys that I've showed many times. Like, Bad Boys was out of print for a while. If I was to resell some of these, you know, could get a pretty penny. That being said, I want access to this stuff. Like, this is this thing. Like, I am downsizing by putting them in the sleeves because I do want access to these at a later point in time. That being said, as my voice cracks up, I want control over the collection. I want to be able to say, like, this is a true reflection of me. This is how I like to have my collection all organized, or very much controlled, very much me. But also, I want to be able to have the room as well, the space, that if I wanted to bring a TV in here, for example, and change the display of how the YouTube channel's been. So everyone knows I've been doing the rant videos. Everyone knows I've been doing the shtick. But, you know, having like a TV in here and having like a table, and then like, as you know, very similar to the early style of the channel, or even just having like a lounge in here and just having a table beside me and just talking to a camera, like, you know, very much like intimate, or like intriguing, or whatever that word is. I'm not the best with these words, sorry. I haven't read the dictionary. I know my words, so I have the best words. If you know, you know. Yeah, so anyways, getting control back over the collection, that's my priority at the moment. If that means I don't post videos for a while, it means I don't post videos for a while. The covers is the next thing. I'm going to eventually get rid of the covers somehow. I don't know how that gets done, but I am going to do that. I mean, I am trying to get it, like, I don't know, I might have to talk to Inner West Council, get something done that way, or just get like a bulk lot taken, but I don't know, I might do that, but also I don't want my stuff just sitting on the street where, like, kids can just go past and rip open the bag and just spread them all over the thing, because that happens sometimes. I don't want to do that. I don't want to contribute to a problem. That being said, I think they just need to go to the recycling centre to just honestly be burnt or repurposed into cups or bottles or something, I don't know. But the covers, they're going, unless someone reaches out to me through Instagram or something and says, I want to just take all the covers, I will literally take 100 bags of them or whatever, then I will try to work with that person and say, you know what, let's do this. But it would have to be in the Sydney region. I'm not posting them, don't care. I've also been selling stuff on Facebook just because I can. As I said, this marketplace deal of all the video tapes, or the Dragon Ball Z tapes, that's going to help me a lot. I'm also trying to sell all my wrestling tapes now, given there are wrestling tapes that I've already sold. But I probably have about 200 of them. And it's just hard to move that much quantity of them. Because why do I need them? I've got everything on DVD. I've got tagged classics. I've got a lot of tagged classics now, the ones I don't have. So I really need to have them at all times in the collection, ready to go. Maybe I might go and I might go to try to find tagged classics if they're a decent deal. But it's not something that I really need to go, I must have that at all times. I might only watch it once every 10 years, but I've got to have it at all times. I am very much like that with my wrestling collection, but as I said, I have to reframe how I'm collecting and how I'm doing this. And yeah, I don't know, guys. I think I might just end it here because, I don't know. I feel like I've ranted on just enough, and I feel like, you know, I don't really want to be that guy anymore who just rants about physical media and does some sensational headline of like, I tore down all this because, haha, I tore it all down. I might do that for this video though. I might do that. But yeah, might put the Dreamcast games over here. I mean, why not? That's how we can end the video. Just until I have something better, you know. Let's just put the Dreamcast games here for the time being, because at least then I have somewhere that I'm just sitting in the middle of the room. This might even be the game section, like if I don't want to throw out the cases, or like the bookcases, I might even make this into the gaming section, you know. I could even get some, when did I purchase these? I don't know when I purchased these, but I mean, they're there, so let's put the wrestling in there as well. Let's put some wrestling over here. I'm sure I have more wrestling over there. I've got GameCube busting out, The Sims. Got some Xbox games that I've obviously bought at some point. I don't know when I bought them. WWE 2K, because we got to acknowledge the tribal chief, Roman Reigns. What am I wearing right now? I'm wearing a Stone Cold shirt. I should have worn my Roman Reigns shirt today. Oh well. Didn't know I was actually doing this video until I woke up and I was like, you know what? I'm going to make a video. So yeah, I've got my Nintendo Switch collection over there, but for the sake of this video, I'll just put the few that I have in my hand at the moment over here. There's more way over there. I've got like a lot more Nintendo, but I don't know. That could be a background, and maybe I do Jamie Toomey Gaming again. Maybe I give that another go. I don't know. I'll have to figure that out. That's something that I'll have to figure out at a later point. Downsizing my CD collection as well, but let's just put that over there as well. Just to make it look kind of neater. I need to get this thing back in line. I don't know when I bought these. I think I bought these the other day. I've got Kelly Rowland Stoll single. Because people, that's the thing kids don't know about singles. Like, they're a lost art form, singles. Celine Dion, because Celine Dion's freaking awesome. Mariah Carey. I'm saying Mariah Carey in October. Friday's Live. Mariah Carey, the legend. Let's put these IMAX things over here as well. I don't know. Is this actually fun to watch me just put stuff on a shelf? I don't know. I know some YouTubers do it and make do it very well and get very much, a lot of people watching. But I don't know, like, is this something that you guys might want to see more of? Is this something that you guys would actually like to see? I mean, if it is, then why, like, yeah, I might do it more, but I don't know, it just feels like it would be boring and I'll just be, like, making stuff for the sake of making it with no direction of whatever. I'm just going to put that receipt there because I know that receipt goes with 2K25, so let's just put that there so I know I don't lose the receipt. Because I like to keep the receipts. I like to keep records of all my collecting habits, and I've got stuff dating back to the start of the collection, 2020. Like, the receipts-wise, I keep them in a box, but, like, just to keep track of, like, what I'm spending, what year, where, what time, like, all little details, like, all this little metadata that a lot of people don't take into notice. Look, Titanic. Silverchair. What are these tapes? Tony Braxton? Why do I have Tony Braxton? What's this one? Marilyn Manson. Oh, okay, these are my childhood tapes. 1 second. Offspring. Now, I never should have sold my Offspring ticket. I could have sold those guys back in, like, early this year. I think it was, like, May or April or something. They came to Australia, but I ended up not going because I just didn't have it was a Sunday night concert and I didn't feel like going. Look at how worn that tape is. That's one of my childhood tapes. Mechanical Animals, Marilyn Manson. Another one that's very worn out. These were also my sister's tapes, but very worn out. And of course, the most worn out tape in my collection, although I think I probably had more worn out back in the day, but this is the one that my sister had, but then I claimed it because I was like, yeah, they're freaking awesome. Korn. Follow the Leader. Look at how worn out the label is. Like, that is a very worn out label. I don't know if you can see that, but you know how worn out that is? Like, I don't know if you can see it. But yeah, interesting. I don't know, guys. Tell me what you want to see in this channel. I don't know what it feels like. I don't know if you need to see me put together a collection like this on a shelf. It's very, very intriguing stuff, though. I must say, very good content. Look at this. Like, I'm filling up a shelf. What a good bloke I am, ain't I? I'm just talking crap now. I think it's time to end this video, guys. I'm just talking, ranting, not wanting to end the video. But yeah, we've cleaned up a little bit of this section, guys. What's this? SingStar Pop. Let's just put that somewhere. I don't know. Put that there? No, I put that tape down there. Pick our tape. We'll just put that there. Boom. There we go. Now everyone's happy. We're all little happy campers again. There we go. I don't know. I'm going to stop this video now and go and order Uber Eats because I haven't had breakfast and it's like 9:50. So I want to eat something, but I don't know. Tell me what you guys want to see. I might do a video, I might not. Anyone who asked about the bookcases, I've mentioned it a million times about Billy bookcases. Anyone who asked about these boxes, they're from IKEA to Gina's, but I don't know what got into IKEA, but they've discontinued them. I don't know. IKEA, anytime you find a good product at IKEA, they discontinue it within 2 months. I've also got these ones, which are Jadders or whatever. Same size as those ones, but these have also been discontinued for some reason because IKEA can't have nice products anymore. Anytime anyone buys anything, IKEA's just got to get rid of them because, you know, because screw you as a customer. Love you, IKEA. The bookcases, if you want to buy them back from me, you can buy them back. I know IKEA have a buyback problem, but I have a collecting problem, so I'm going to end this video now. 35 minutes full. I made a longer one, guys. See, I told you I made a longer one. Peace. I'll catch you in the next one. And also follow that Instagram because I want more followers on the Instagram. And in case you guys don't know, I'll end the video on that. Go and follow the Instagram because I want to be able to talk directly, like, without doing a big, long video, like sharing stuff to my story here and there, like doing a post here and there, maybe. I'm going to get back to it. It's just a matter of, got to find the concept. I don't know. I mean, I was doing that thing that I was paying to promote the post to try to get my voice out there. Now, given I did gain a lot of followers, but I don't know. I need to look at strategy. I need to think if that's the right approach for that YouTube channel. Or not YouTube, for that Instagram channel. We'll see. Don't know. This is how many times I've done the Instagram. Never seems to work. I will catch you in the next one now, and I will end now. 35 minutes for. I hope you guys watched it. If you stuck to the end, I don't know, say, I don't know, what can I say? I don't know, say something like, I don't know, what can we say? What can we end this on? We need to end this on a quote. I don't know. Tell me your favorite gaming system. I don't know. Jump in the comments and just tell me what your favorite console is and your favorite game on that console, and tell me what sort of stuff, like, or even your favorite movie. I don't know. Just jump down in the comments. Put engagement down in the comments. I don't know. Just have fun down in the comments. Have a bit of fun. Keep it in line though. If you post anything silly or try to hijack the comments, I'm gonna block you. So don't be idiots. But yeah, jump down in the comments. Do whatever you want to do down there. Have fun. I might jump in and have a bit of fun with you, but we'll see. Thanks for watching, guys, and peace. I'll catch you in the next one. Oh, and also, just in case you guys were wondering, yeah, that's how messy it is at the moment. I'm still trying to get it under control. There's some behind the door that I rearranged. Obviously, these figures up here I might sell at some point. I don't know. I haven't got to that far ahead yet. I haven't thought that far ahead. And yeah, these bookcases here, they're kind of getting blank, but rearrange. I don't know. I might upload this in 1080p because this is a long video and I don't want to use all my data. So I use my phone. I use my phone as my main hotspot. I don't have Wi-Fi. I know that puts some people off, but I don't know. We're in there. See ya.